Well, everybody, I don't even know where to start. I don't see where Manchester United go from here. I was being so positive leading up to this final, and I was probably living in delusion. I probably was. We cannot score against Premier League sides. Spurs have beat us 3 times this season. We kept hearing it's a final, it's a final. And I think the reason I was probably living in blind hope was because we've seen Manchester United backs against the wall. I mean, the only reason we're even in this competition to get into the Champions League is because we fluked it past Coventry last season. That's the only reason we're here, and it feels like the luck was bound to run out at some point. When do you just look at this team and think, you are far, far from the levels? And I'm not even just talking about ability, I'm talking about mentality and having the backbone to play for this club. I thought we'd come through it. I went through a range of emotions, mainly because Spurs are poor. I think they had an XG of like 0.001 or something. But United will always give you an in on a game. You will always do it. Onana should not be starting for Manchester United next season. Luke Shaw, he's just come out in an interview, he was on the brink of tears, saying that players need to look at themselves whether they're good enough to play for Manchester United or not. And he's one of them players. He's one of them players. Why he's playing the full game, I don't know. To me, he put fear into the whole of the back line. I think Mazraoui, Maguire and Yoro, when they're all together, it looks so solid. And I've been a biggest fan of Luke Shaw. I think on his day, when he's playing consistent football, he's a fantastic player. But since he's come back from this injury, he's just not looked himself. And tonight, it's not good enough on a lot of the crosses that were coming into the box. And do you know what? I'm not going to individualise it. I think the only player that I can actually pick out that did well tonight, that can hold the head high coming off that pitch, is Lenny Yoro. Dorgu second half, Ahmad had glimpses, but Lenny Yoro was fantastic, and thank God we've got a 19-year-old there that we can hopefully build around. But how we're going to build around him, we've no money to invest in the summer, we're going to have to get smart, and our recruitment is going to have to be on fire. But the reason, like I said, I couldn't contemplate losing this final, which we have done, is because where it leaves us, now we've lost it. We are probably going to finish bottom of all the Premier League teams, just outside the relegation zone, because the 3 that are going down are Championship sides. No trophy, and our luck's finally run out. But at least Manchester United cannot hide. At least this squad, at least this club, at least this team cannot hide behind anything. We are what we are. We are terrible. It shows it in the league, and it shows it with no trophies. The luck has run out. Every single one of them players needs to look themselves in the mirror and think, do I deserve to play for this football club? And a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't. And honestly, and I feel like losing's always terrible. Losing is always absolutely terrible. It's horrible. It's horrible to lose. Like, I felt like crying. But I can take losing. I can take losing if I know it's a good game where every single player is given everything on that pitch. You've fought for every blade of grass. You've done everything you can do. You've played a good game. Just fine margins got the better of you. The better team got the better of you. But I didn't feel that. I never thought we got out of second gear. I never thought we got going. We struggled to string passes together and completely had our number in terms of exploiting the space that is between the wing back and the centre back. Continuously, just one pass was taking out 3 players because there was too much space between the wing back and the centre back, and Ange knew that, and Amrin didn't change it. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to lose to that Spurs side 4 times in a season, hand them their first trophy since God knows when. It's embarrassing as Manchester United to do that, and we're a laughing stock. We're getting laughed at left, right and centre, and the players have to know that. The fans have to feel that pain now. We have to feel the pain of spending how much money it is to get here. I mean, I've seen some fans are sleeping on park benches just to support the side after a terrible league season, to then show a performance where it doesn't feel like you've given everything on the pitch. And I find it hard to question a player's work rate. I really do, because I obviously believe that every single one of them players wanted to win that game. I believe that. But what was it? Because to me, and I'm not saying we need to get Ten Hag back, and I'm not saying we should have kept Ten Hag, but before the final against City last season, clearly there was work done about how to approach the game, going into every tackle, how to approach the game, how to win it, a clear game plan. And we succeeded in every element. The players looked hungry, they looked like they wanted it, and we gave everything. And I think there was talks about different speeches being shown to the players, but a job of the manager is to get the players in the right mindset to play a game. Today, Amrim didn't do that, and it does have to go on to Amrim. The players obviously have to look themselves in the mirror and say, how was I not fully there to give everything on the pitch, to deliver to the fans after all the talk and after the horrendous performances and after the obstacles we had to get through to get to this point. But it's Amrim's job and his coaching staff's job to get these players up for that game, and I didn't see a team that was fully fledged, raring to go. I also think as well, and I'm being a little bit... I'm contradicting myself a little bit, because I did question whether to change the 11, but I was just speaking to Rafael, a right back who played, for Man United, played under Fergie, has won countless trophies for this club, and countless trophies obviously is a bit of a strong word, but knows what it takes to win trophies for this club. And he said, if you're playing a full competition, getting yourself to a final and then you drop for it, that's going to massively affect your mood, your mentality going into a game. And maybe that's something that Amrin went wrong in. I have to be honest, as much as I want to back Amrin, I want it to work, I really do, I have to question that. I thought the approach to the game was wrong. I thought it was obvious he got it wrong quite quickly. I thought he was too slow to change it, too stubborn to make substitutions. And I think it was obvious early doors we needed to get players onto the pitch. Different players onto the pitch. The front line weren't working. I get that Xerxes wasn't fully fit. I get he had to wait for that. But just the difference between Rasmus Højlund and Xerxes when he came on the pitch. It was his first touch, we started linking up. But Amrim is right in the sense of Manchester United can't score goals. We massively struggle to score goals. Against Premier League sides, we are goosed in front of goal. We have a severe lack of quality in our front line, and the team is poor at scoring goals, and we always have an error in us. When you have an Arna in goal, when you have defenders that can make individual mistakes, there is always going to be an error in you. But Manchester United right now is Bruno and Ahmad, and let's hope and pray. That's what it is. And Bruno had a terrible performance tonight. I was going mad in the stands because I thought he was terrible. But Bruno Fernandes, in every final that I've seen him play, has turned up for this club. He doesn't turn up in a final tonight. And he has to look at himself as captain of this club. Why wasn't I there? Why did I spend too much time moaning to the referee and telling everybody else what to do than focusing on my own game? He gave the ball away twice, I think, in the lead up to Spurs' goal, and of course United should have intervened before that, but he has to take responsibility. He kept giving the ball away in dangerous areas, and he wasn't delivering in terms of getting the team forward and creating cohesive patterns of play to get us consistently, creating chances in the box. He has to take responsibility for that, but every final I've seen him play, apart from this one, he's turned up, right? And it's the same thing over and over again for Manchester United. If Bruno Fernandes doesn't turn up, Manchester United don't turn up. How can you rely everything on one player? And then I see people saying, United have got to take that money. And Bruno's just said in an interview, it's never been about finances for me. I want to play in the best competitions. I want to win the best trophies. That's why he sat down with the club in the last summer, before he signed his new contract, because he wanted his future to be trophies and to compete in the best competitions. He's not got that with United. He's not. And we'll talk about the ownership in a second. But he's not about money. But he said, if the club want to cash in on me, cash in on me. Amrim said, if the club want to sack me, I won't take any compensation. They can do that. That is strong words coming out of that football club. And Amrim, get in the comments down below. I could completely understand why you'd want to move forward with a new manager based off what he's shown us this season. Let's be honest, his points in the Premier League record is worse than Derby's relegated side, which is the worst ever points in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure, in his tenure. And this final was really, really poor. I thought he got it all wrong, down to his line-up, his in-game management, his subs. However, I don't know if it's blind hope, truly believe that with the right players he can do something, but how is he going to get the right players? And I also have to make a point, and this is something that unsettles me with Amorim. Kobbie Mainoo is far too good not to be fitting in a system. Kobbie Mainoo should not be coming on for 2 minutes. He was player of the match in the FA Cup final to beat City, who won the league last year. You can't tell me he can't fit into the system over the players that we're already seeing that don't provide anything. He scores goals, he's got good close control. Okay, yeah, he might not be Usain Bolt, he's not the best sprinter, but he brings something to this side that it is severely, severely lacking. And he knows Manchester United through and through, and he turns up in big games. Massive mistake from Amorim to not utilise him, in my opinion. And the fact that he doesn't look like he's getting into the team, this is what I mean now. It's getting to the point. I do believe that a lot of that squad needs to go, the majority of it. But I believe you need to build around Yoro, Ahmad, Kobbie Mainoo is another one of them. I don't want to see Kobbie Mainoo being sold because he doesn't suit Amorim's system. because we're not sure if Amrim's system is going to work. So I don't want to lose that because of that. And the players that he needs to fit his system, Cunha's one of them, let's hope and pray he still comes. How are we going to get them players in without the money? This transfer window is massively up in the air. The one thing I've got to say is, since Sir Jim came into this club in partnership with the Glazers, it just feels like it's continually going on a downward spiral. We were already going on a downward spiral, it's like this, but it feels like it's just crashing down. And the ownership was supposed to inject life into this football club and turn it around. It feels like we're heading towards the bottom quicker and quicker. I mean, can we get any worse? Relegation? That's it. But the one thing I can say, I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted we didn't lift this trophy tonight. Everything in me thought we were going to, everything in me wanted to, but all I can say is at least we know exactly where this club's at, and you cannot hide from that. The ownership and the board have to do something drastically to change this football club's fortunes. The squad needs to be gutted. If you're planning to back Amrim, back him, right? And if you don't agree with what he's doing, make a decision. But I want it to work. But I've just been shown nothing to think it's going to, apart from what he's done at Sporting and blind hope. I hope it does. I'm absolutely gutted, and I'm really, really gutted and disappointed in the players. Like, they've continually disappointed us all season and in the past, but tonight was a real kick. It was a kick for the fans, that. It was a real slap in the face, because travelling all this way, the lengths that people have gone to for a lacklustre performance like that, it's not good enough for United in a final. And we're getting laughed at by Jamie Carragher and Mo Salah on Twitter. I mean, this is Manchester United. I was just interviewing Raphael, and he just says it's night and day. And United need to look at themselves and look at what they're doing, from the club top to bottom. The players need to question whether they're good enough to be here. The board need to question whether Amrim's the guy they want to move forward with, and the ownership needs to question whether they're the right ownership to invest money into this football club and get it back to the top, because Manchester United cannot be here. It cannot be here. Things need to happen quickly. I understand things take time, but I worry Bruno Fernandes goes in the summer and we're looking at a relegation battle next season. That's what I look at, because how are you going to replace him? Who are you going to replace him with? Do you trust the people that are running this football club? But anyway, I could go on and on. All I want to do is shut off my phone, throw it out the window, and fall off the face of the earth for the next 2 weeks. I just want to, if I could get on a jet to the Bahamas right now, sit on a beach for a month and not listen to anybody, I would. I just can't even face it. But we've got to face it, we've got to front up, you've got to be gracious in defeat, and you've got to look forward, and you've got to keep moving forward. We will never die. United will never die. This is still a massive club. This club deserves the biggest honours. These fans deserve the biggest honours. We deserve Champions League. We deserve Premier Leagues. How we're going to get there, I don't know. But that's not up to us. The fan base is the best fan base in the world, and it deserves a club that is the best in the world on the pitch as well. And we do our part, showing up every game, giving the best support. It's time for the club and the players to do their part. And that's what we need to do going into the summer. Look, guys, hit a like on the video if you've not already. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. It is nearly 2 a.m. here over in Bilbao, and it's time for us to head to the airport and take a very, very, very sad trip back to Manchester. Thank you, everybody.